In today's video, I'm going to talk about why adding support like this to rotational exercises can greatly benefit your golf swing. So we all know that golf is a rotational sport, but I think sometimes a little too much emphasis is placed on getting into a golf stance or even like a balancing type stance when we do our rotational exercises, especially the balance part. We really kind of get crazy with the single leg stuff, balancing on one leg, maybe standing on a Bosu ball. You know, if you're not familiar with those, it's the goofy blue ball that's a half circle and it's real squishy. You'll see people stand on that and do rotational stuff. I know that we find ourselves in some funky lies on the golf course, but nothing even close to what it's like standing on a squishy ball or even really standing on one leg. Yes, balance is important, but when we're training a rotation, I think we really need to focus on torso strength and that lower body stability. So when we're talking about doing some balancing exercises, you may see something like this. So someone's standing on one leg and doing a rotational exercise. And if you can just see over my weight stack there, this is on a low weight and I'm really struggling. The main focus there is on balance, right? And if we really want to focus on being able to rotate our torso in golf posture or just standing, we need to be able to do a couple things. We need to disassociate our lower body. So that's one big skill in golf where you'll see the best players in the world, they get that lower body turn. You need core stability and strength to actually get that turn to happen, or else you won't be able to disassociate the upper and lower body. So when I'm programming things like this is actually new in my program, so I kind of just discovered this exercise and how to properly do this. I'm setting this box up right here at the bottom of my cable machine. If I didn't have a box, I would use a sturdy bench. I don't have a sturdy bench, so I have a box. You could do this with bands if you really want. I think if you have cables available, when we're talking about strength, cables are the absolute way to go because you can progressively overload them a bit easier. It's that smooth resistance to the entire range of motion, except for when the bands are being used, it's only really tight towards the end. So you're not quite getting a ton of load at the beginning, but bands are beneficial as well. So what I really like here is that when we set this up, we're gonna get down on one knee. From here, I'm able to get in really good posture. So I can sit up nice and tall, I can engage my low body, I can even tuck my pelvis if I want, squeeze the glutes really hard, and now I'm in a very stable position to work up here, right? Once this is all taken care of down here, I can really focus on challenging the load in this rotation pattern I'm gonna work on now. So when you're setting this up, if I was standing next to that, that's roughly at hip height. That's a great place to be. It's gonna end up right around my chest for me. Some people's bodies might be a little different, but that's just a good kind of benchmark to go from. Then you're able to really load this up. So I'm gonna grab the handle. If I had long arms, I'll probably just have to move this out, set a dumbbell on the other side of this box if I needed to keep it in place. But now, look at how much rotation I can really work on, opposed to that balancing exercise I just did. And now, I'm able to stay in really good posture. I'm able to keep my spine nice and neutral and really rotate. I was doing this in my workout and I think I got this up to like 90 pounds the other day. So you're really able to create a ton of torso strength. I wasn't doing it for this video, but you can aggressively overload this very easily. So like week 1, 80 pounds, week 2, 90 pounds, 6 to 10 reps. Something like that. Now I know that a lot of people out there think that just because this looks nothing like a golf swing, that this doesn't mean it's going to carry over to the golf swing. And that's far from it, right? We need to really focus on building up strength and mobility in our torso, in rotation, and this is a great way to do it by stabilizing that lower body, putting something else here. There's very few machines at gyms that allow that. There's somewhere you can put your knees on them, you do that torso twist, but you don't quite get as big of a turn as you can get here with the cables. And when I was first getting into personal training, I really didn't like people using machines because I thought they weren't functional. That's kind of been debunked quite a bit. So since we don't have a ton of rotation machines, this is a great way to get yourself in a very, very good and solid position to increase and get that maximum amount of torso strength and turn. Remember, strength training is also mobility training. So this carries over really well into doing things like your sideline book openers or whatever it is that you're really trying to work on that torso mobility, and mobility and strength go hand in hand. So this is a great way to do both. So if you've never tried really loading up your lower body or getting creative and finding a stable way for your lower body to increase your torso turn, try this out. So there's tons of other things you can do, but give this a shot.